This is the new Mercedes-AMG S63. As ever, its purpose is to deliver true luxury and masses of performance. And as you'd expect from the 2023 model, AMG has applied all the technology at its disposal to take things to new levels. The result? This is the most powerful S-Class of all time.
The big news is, of course, the powertrain, so let's talk about it. Up front, it uses a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, making by itself 612 horsepower. But it's not alone, because around the back, it has an electric motor connected to a 2-speed gearbox and a battery pack, which makes 190 horsepower. Together, they combine to make a staggering 802 horsepower, and that means really good performance. 0 to 62 in 3.3 seconds, and with the AMG drivers package, a top speed of 180 miles an hour. Quick. Design is interesting as well. This is the first S-Class to have an AMG specific front end, which you can see reflected in this Panamericana grille with these vertical strakes running from top to bottom. It's also got these enormous air intakes, which are specific to this version, and it comes with the optional carbon pack as well. So you can see carbon trim around the air intake, and it's also got the optional night package, which you can see reflected in this chrome finish around the grille. And up on the bonnet, instead of getting a 3-pointed star, you now get the new Afalta back badge, which just sets it off nicely. Along the side, very similar to a standard S-Class saloon, but these come with AMG specific forged wheels, 21s at the front and 21s at the rear, with optional carbon ceramic brakes, 400mm at the front and 380s at the rear. Also, because of the carbon pack, you get carbon side skirts and carbon door mirrors, and this wouldn't be a modern Mercedes without these fancy door handles that open when you stroke them. Now, because this is a hybrid, the car has 2 fuel filler caps, one on the right-hand side for your petrol and another one on the left for charging up your battery pack. This car has a 13 kilowatt-hour battery and it has a range of 33 kilometers. Not quite sure what that is in miles. Let me know down below in the comments. And it can recharge using AC power only, which means it will go from 25% to 100% in about 4 hours, or overnight from a 3-pin plug in about 7.5 hours. Around the back, meanwhile, not a huge departure from the standard S-Class saloon, but if you look closely, there's a couple of details that mark this out as the spicy E-Performance version. Notably, the red lettering for the S63 badges, and it's also got an AMG specific rear bumper, which again in this case is finished in the carbon pack, plus these amazing looking quad exhausts. As for boot space, well, remember we've got an electric motor and a battery in there, so boot space is slightly reduced. The total space is around the 300-litre mark, which isn't massive, but you know, it's big enough, let's face it. Inside, it's very much like a standard S-Class with a little bit of AMG finesse, shall we say. The first thing you might notice are these seats, which are the same as in the S-Class, but they have an AMG specific pattern and also an AMG badge and AMG crest in the headrest. You also get an AMG steering wheel, which, as you'll be familiar with if you watch the channel, has these lovely little knobs on the bottom which let you change your driving mode, the amount of regen you get because it's a hybrid, and also these capacitive buttons on the spokes which let you customize the driver display and also the main display. Speaking of which, this too has some AMG specific graphics. So if you look at the AMG screen, you'll find energy flow, drive, and vehicle, which shows you various settings related to how the electric motor and the ICE engine are working in collaboration. This is cool as well. If you go on the IWC screen, you'll see a nice big display that features an IWC timepiece, which you can use to measure your launches or your lap times. And of course, there's that whole track pace system, which AMG will allow you to utilize for measuring how fast you're going around a circuit.
This wouldn't be a modern AMG without a ton of chassis systems designed to improve performance. So the S63 comes with air suspension with adaptive damping, active roll stabilization as standard, and rear wheel steering, so it should be capable when you're pushing hard. But when you're not, the rear is a great place to hang out. It's still an S-Class, so it's as comfortable as you'd expect, full of screens for rear seat entertainment and some of the nicest pillow headrests in the game. One of the seats even reclines and has a footrest with a calf massaging function.
Now, in terms of pricing, I'm not allowed to tell you how much it'll cost yet, somewhere under £200,000. And availability, well, you should start seeing this car on roads sometime in April 2023. Would you like us to do a full review, somewhere where it's a bit less hot and sweaty? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it's going to be a yes. See you soon.